All right, welcome to Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News with Clay. Say hi to Clay because this is the last time you'll see him. He's not going to make his 15th birthday. He just had his birthday yesterday. But all right, let's thank our marketing partners here. Damn, I think it's so slow today. Oh, let's see. All right. Los Compadres. I think it's slow as heck today. Los Compadres. I thank those guys for coming on board with us this year. Man. Factory Canopies. I think Todd Davis out of Factory Canopies been with us for a few years.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday, Adam.
Wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
well, Scott, Eddie Park said happy birthday.
Oh,
Thank Eddie.
But he didn't get you no barbecue. I don't know.
Yeah, that's okay.
Mosquito Joe's get 50% off on your first month of service. Just mention the racetrack or Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News on the peninsula. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza, and provide dinner every week. Jack never gets tired of pizza. He loves Papa John's. I mean, just eats it for breakfast sometimes. MPM Marketing with Tanya McAllister. Thank Tanya for coming on board with our sponsorship package this year and helping us design a suit and giving us a good deal on it. Hopefully that should be showing up soon. Bonderit's Brothers Distillery, Robert Bonderit. I think those guys, and they got some good moonshine, Jack.
Yeah, we need to go down and get some. Well,
Yeah.
I need to go down.
You need to go down and get some, and maybe get a few of them this time, because every time we have a little thing here, it disappears. When
That's if you got Eddie Clark coming around.
Slinger Speed Company, hit Tim Brown up, your local t-shirt shop. Thanks, Tim, for providing us some shirts and hats and so forth. Hopefully we have some hats coming soon, aka soon. Langley Speedway. Thanks, Langley Speedway, for letting us do the show from here. Well, I have to reboot my computer. Fast Eddie's Barbecue. Fast Eddie. Appreciate him for always making dinner for us a lot of times, and for our sponsorship, doing dinner for them. I guess they're supposed to be doing that, I think, on the Hampton Heat night, I think.
Oh, it is.
I think so. Last I'd heard, but I'm not for sure. It's Pepsi, Mountain Dew, it's Mountain Jack's drink of choice. Paquette Power Solutions. Hit Keith up. He'll buy breakfast or lunch, whatever you choose. He's going to owe $1 million dinners by the end of the season. Keep adding everybody to buy dinner for. C. Clark Construction. Thanks, old Eddie, for coming on board for the construction company. Coming on board this year and always providing dinner. GAC Great American Company with Guillermo Amaya. Guillermo's been with us for a long time, actually.
Yeah,
I don't know how long, but since I can remember. Miles of Seamless Gutter. I think Vivian and Daniel and Courtney and all them out at Miles for putting up the money for our sponsorship package every year. We do going to have one this year. I'm not sure how we're going to do it and what we're going to do. Maybe similar to next year or last year, but we'll see. We haven't totally decided on that. Let's see, Sammy Gator, Sammy Gator, Frontline Performance Race Fuels, Parts and Lubrications, the hottest fuel at Langley Speedway. It may or may not pass tech, but it will win a championship.
Yeah.
And they didn't test his fuel, so he won.
Yeah, I
They'll win it.
Right.
I guess so.
Let's see, we got.
Oh, it comes right up on Jack's screen, but not yours.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. AM Marketing, Ashley.
AM Media.
AM Media. What's her name?
Ashley Miller.
Ashley Miller. Media makes Jack look good. Well, maybe not him look good. Makes his stuff, his graphics look good because she's doing it for him. Is this some bitch gonna quit? All right. Struggling over here, man. The struggle is real. What's up, Eddie?
Clay, I need my book now.
Terry. Caitlin Joyner. What's up, Caitlin? Vince is on the show.
What are we doing tonight, Kim? You're done.
Light in here. Let's get the racetrack up in here.
There it is. Because that's what people came to see right there.
Well, as soon as I find all this,
It's not that hard to find. It's the last page you wrote on.
yeah. Wow.
No, so it's because Lacey is racing. We outsource food too, Eddie.
All right, let's talk about the news and so what all took place this weekend now that I finally have my book. In the Cup Series, Denny Hamlin got win number 3 in a row. That's pretty good for him. O'Reilly Series, Justin Allgaier got another win.
Yeah.
In the ARCA Series, Gio Ruggiero got the win.
That was pretty cool.
And our girl, Lainey Bice, got the pole for that race.
Yeah, hell yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
forgot about
that
that.
was pretty cool.
That
Too.
was cool.
Out at State Line Speedway out in California, Kevin Harvick got the win
Pretty good.
for the ARCA West. Up at Dominion Speedway,
Cars for West.
Cars Tour West. That's it, Cars Tour West. All right, up at Dominion Speedway. Tell us about Dominion. You was up there.
Man, yeah, Dominion was fun. 2 American Racer late models. Gotta get it right. It's America Racer late models, which are not exactly late models, but anyway, Chris Donnelly and his son Aaron both won up there. They swept the event, and Minnie Tyrell got his 2nd win in a row in the Minnie's Mission 125.
Back to back. It's pretty exciting. And didn't have the best car, really.
No, got up there on a restart, and man, just
Yeah, I think he had a 3rd or 4th place car, and I think Brendan had a 4th or 5th place car.
Yeah.
And then
took advantage of a restart, and once he got to the lead, man, he was gone.
yeah, I did like. I started to text Brendan and tell him I did like his interview that he did. You can tell he's frustrated. And I think he's more frustrated he got into the fence and tore the car up,
Yeah.
and that really dictated the outcome.
Lap 2, he did say it was his fault.
For sure. But you know the way the interview was kind of indicated he was sort of aggravated with Minnie. I know he
did end up in the fence on one of the late restarts, and that was not his fault.
right. But I mean, it's racing.
It was good racing.
I like how he said, "I'm an aggressive driver." He didn't do it. I would have done the same thing
Yeah.
for the win with 10 or 20 laps to go.
He
So I can't say anything.
Yeah.
But
He's frustrated that it's a similar result with a similar individual.
but in the end, you can't blame either one.
But he still ended up 3rd. I mean, I thought he was done. But
After that
first hit,
man, he was
he
airborne.
was like 6th or 7th. Yeah. He was,
But way cool. Got to give a shout out to Minnie's Mission.
Yep.
I got to meet some of the people with Minnie's Mission. The PR girl, talked to her for a while up there, and thanks for Timmy for
Alicia, shout out to her.
for
Timmy
setting us up in the Minnie's Mission suite and had food and saw that stuff. So I really appreciate that, Timmy. It was a great event. Did talk to one of the girls that they gave the trophy to that was paired up.
Scout.
Yeah, Scout.
Yep.
She has one leg there. I'm not sure what all her stuff that she's dealing with, but she was so excited.
She got to spray the champagne, man.
Yeah,
That was cool.
yeah. Well, way cool for those kids. And then to bring all the kids down there in Victory Lane, get their picture taken was way. I know they were at the end. They were trying to get everybody out, and I mean that's a major ordeal, but way cool for all those kids to get to forget to wear their stuff they got going on in their life.
Was way cool to be a part of it. Thank you to everybody that made it happen for me. That was weekend of a lifetime, man. Unbelievable.
All right, at Bowman Gray, modified race number 1, Burt Myers. It's the modified race. Burt Myers won. Modified race number 2, Slate Myers won. In the sportsman, Zach Orr won the first race. Nate Grigg won the second race. South Boston Speedway, late model stock car, Peyton Sellers got the win. And in the limited late models, Drew Dawson. Down at Five Flags Speedway in Florida, Friday night in the late models, Stephen Nasty got the win.
Mm-hmm.
And he turned around and won again on Saturday night.
Okay.
So they had dual races down there, and he won both of them. Down at Hickory Motor Speedway, limited late models, Dexter Knight Jr. won the limited late models. Late model Billy Snodgrass won the late model race.
Say that one fast. What's his name?
Billy Snodgrass. Why are you gonna laugh at the man's name? I used to work for a Snodgrass.
But don't even ask me to say it because I'll have it screwed up as hell.
Yeah.
And here at Langley Speedway, we didn't have Adam here, so I don't
We
know.
could have called Atlee, man.
No.
Oh,
Darn
man.
it.
Shit.
Anyway, in the Enduros, Kilman Hewer got the win. Limited late model race, number 1, Spencer Conrad with a 3-wide move coming through the middle, past
Man.
Jacob Derrick and
Teammate left the door open, man. Sarah White.
Sarah Weitzel went right through.
I bet he won't do that again.
I think he watched that replay and said, "Oh crap."
Limited late model race number 2, Jacob Derrick. In the Super Trucks, Chris McAvoy. Modifieds, Brad Adams. Legends, Tommy Jackson Jr. And in the Grand Stocks, Tyler Warner got the win. I mean, he come from back and got up front and passed Lubno, and I thought, well, now that's something new I hadn't seen in a
Not
while.
many people get to pass.
That car looks
Fast
hooked
ball.
up, man. It looked quick.
At Shangri-La Speedway in New York, the Super Stocks, Garrett Zacharias got the win. That's his second win this year. Down at Dixieland, the Virginia Sprint Race, Robert Tyler won. The Sportsman Race, Larry Jackson. Super Stock, Colton Stevens. Sport Compact, Rylan Lindsay. And in the Legends, Mason Weekly.
Fast lane.
And they had
It's getting faster.
They had
and faster.
side-by-side races down there, but I didn't know none of them people or nothing about it, so I didn't get a whole lot on that.
It's
So,
the craziest stuff I've ever seen, man.
I bet it is pretty neat. though.
Racing side by side, yeah.
also, racing lost another name in the sport this week. Steve Wade. We've had him on the show a couple times, and he's. I mean, I talked to him when we go to Charlotte. I'd see him when he was
No,
there.
we didn't see him this
Yeah.
time around, but always very opening and welcoming. Always willing to talk to you and talk about it. Super nice guy.
Yep.
Big loss.
So, want to
And
say a
then
little
what was the newspaper he had?
Winston Cup scene.
Was it Wednesday? Yeah.
Yeah, Winston Cup scene. Chris Buescher today signed his contract for a multi-year contract with RFK, so he'll be back with them in the near future or the next year. And our driver of the week this week was Tyler Warner. Everybody wanted
Congrats, man. Hey,
The
Warner.
Mafia again.
Josh Berry's out of the 20.
Well, yeah, Josh Berry is not in the 21 next year.
But who's going to fill that seat?
You want my opinion?
I would love to find out.
You would
Love to.
love to.
Love to.
Well, it would
That's
probably
what they're rumoring, but I don't see Childress letting him go.
Well, I think Childress loves him, and he may not want to let him go, but I think they sure would love to have him in the wood car. So,
I mean, he's definitely a popular kid.
yeah.
Jesse Love.
So I think it's going to be Jesse Love. I really do think it's going to be. All right.
That's what the rumor is, but
All right. Let's bring our first guest on here. Let's drill him over the coals for a little bit. Let's put Jeremy Jones over here. Bring him in. Let him talk. Come on in and have a seat right here.
now that I know who he is.
We got Scott up to speed. Don't worry.
Hey,
won't
Scott,
forget.
I want to introduce you to Jeremy Jones.
So, Jerry, nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you,
I
brother.
think he's
I've seen this 66 all the time, but
Usually up in the wall somewhere, but
well, I won't.
It's green now. It's black.
Oh, it's black now.
yeah.
Mm.
I missed the band. How did I miss? Who won the band race? Jace Washington. Jace
Yeah, and that's Jace's Junior Motorsports. Just it's a dude you missed the band.
I sure did.
Our favorite number 3 driver.
I
Man.
know.
The only number.
The only
three.
number 3 here at Langley Speedway. He's already said that. He's the only number
Hey,
3.
you come back from the back.
I
Well,
heard
he's
he-
fun.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Came all the way back.
That's awesome.
It was, I tell you, I mean, that move he put on there with a couple laps to go to get under the, I forget who the other one is, but Yeah, it was pretty good. It was good to see because he had done it to him. What, race 1 or race 2?
Yeah, race 2, I think.
Yeah.
Restart. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it was good to see. It was the other way around.
Yeah.
All right.
He's figuring it out, man.
Now that we got Jeremy sitting here and you done introduced yourself and you know who it is, tell us a little bit about Jeremy and what's going on with him this year.
And
What isn't going on with Jeremy this year, man?
Okay.
Oh,
a lot of ups and downs. This is my 3rd season. Just figuring it out, brother. Like my 3 years ago, I started, didn't know anything about it. Just built a car from scratch myself. Like paid for it out of pocket. Like built it all myself. Don't know anything about building a race car. Got into UCAR and was a last place car all season and just started picking it up. Last year, I won my first race. This year, I'm shooting for a championship. A couple of DNFs are going to hold me back from that, but we're figuring it out still.
Now, what was it like on that first win? I mean, what goes through your mind those last few laps? What was that like?
I didn't believe it was happening. I was like, I can't believe it. I got it on in-car camera. I was like, I can't believe this is happening right now. Like I beat like all the fastest cars out there have been dominating all season, and somehow I managed to save a little tire for the end of the race, and was able to pass them on the outside, which is really hard for our division. Everything is just inside. You got to maintain the inside line in order to make any sort of advancements. Yeah, so I passed them on the outside and finished like the last 5 laps and won the race, and still in disbelief about it a little bit, but yeah, trying to recreate the magic.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
Well, so far this year, you've had a little tough luck too. So tell us a little bit about that.
So first race this year came out, led a bunch of laps, and on the first race, and ended up falling back second, ended up finishing second, and had high hopes. The next race, put it in the wall. It got rained out like 3 laps later, so the race got canceled or whatever. Had to rebuild the whole car. The next lap, broke an axle, overheated the car, DNF'd. The race after that, I put it in the wall, totaled the whole car. It was completely trashed, not reusable at all. And I thought my season was over. And then Sunday I woke up and all these people were messaging me. I'm like, hey man, I got tools if you need it. I got a shop. We want to see you back out there. Let me come over and help you fix your car. And someone was like, hey man, I had the same car as you. It was sitting in my backyard. It's been sitting back there for years. You can have it if you want it.
Although,
And so I went and picked it up, cut the top off of it, took my cage out, put my cage in it, swapped my motor and everything over. And we came back out there this race and we finished second with a brand new car. So
And that's pretty cool to be able
yeah,
to rebuild the car, come back and finish second. That's a big deal.
yeah, we were stoked.
So
yeah, that's a win.
It felt like a win, yeah. I
That's
thought it
a
was
win
over.
right there. Yeah.
so who all helps you with the car and helps you keep it running?
Kyle Davis. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He drives the 54 car, 52 car. I'm bad with numbers, but yeah, he's my best friend out there though, believe it or not. And he helps me with everything. So anytime I ask him anything, he comes over and doesn't ask any questions and just helps me do anything I need. So
Well, it looks like everybody in that division they work together a little bit to help each other as much as they can.
Yep.
I don't hear a whole lot of squabbling too much about it, but
yep.
But I'm gonna see if I can start something this week, so we can have a rivalry or something out there
Yeah.
with you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be up here spotting, so I'll when they see you.
Just tell her she's clear.
Yeah.
That'll start something.
I'll be spotting. She'll come around you. I'll say clear, and just hold on.
Right,
All right.
Just hold on.
We gotta watch out for her.
That's the last thing she needs, man.
We'll do that, and then
Holy.
we'll see if we can start something with Lacey Hogg. I know you know.
Yeah.
He's just looking for anybody he
I'm
can.
a big fan of the Hogs. They're nice people, dude. So
Well, that's pretty good. Now who else helps sponsor your car? Do you have any sponsors?
I have no sponsors. This is all self-funded. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I own my own business. I'm an electrician. So any extra money I get from my business, I just put it in the car. Yeah. My wife doesn't know about it, but
She don't know about it. This might not be the right place to put it.
I hope she's not watching. She knows.
yeah, she knows.
They know more than we think sometimes. So that's pretty good. Now, do you have aspirations later on of doing something else other than
Get a late
UCAR?
model.
Yeah, I want to get in a late model, a limited late model. You know, I'm just trying to like develop my skill and like hopefully someone gives me a chance to get a ride and rent me a ride or something like.
Well, you got money, so you can have
Let's take a little bit more of that
I wouldn't
business money.
say that. But
money. You go out there and just strike a check and get in one of the cars.
there we go.
I'm sure you go hang out with Mark Works and some of them
Yeah,
guys.
Mark will make it happen. He's a good friend. I wish.
Well, see, you got one of the inside source there with them. So you
Yeah,
get-
I don't know, that shop might be full.
So I mean,
Probably is.
this is something new for 3 years racing. You're getting into it. You don't want to race. I mean,
Time to move up.
yeah, just you've done some things now. You just need to get that championship. So you need to
That's
work
it.
on that.
That's it. Yep. The DNFs are probably going to hold me back from championship this year, but maybe I can help someone else get a DNF this year and to help me move up in the points.
There you go.
And we can make it happen.
Just reel them in, baby.
I ain't scared. At this point, I ain't scared. So.
I like how you said that. I was going to say something, but I guess I'll leave that one alone. So, but I mean, that's cool. I mean, to be able to get where you got to in the 3 years and have a win under your belt and everything. We got a problem here.
Clay's still trying to add over here. Smokes.
2 plus 2 is 4.
I thought it was 22. Carry the one.
Wonder how
But
to
anyway,
keep the
yeah,
lead.
that's fun for you. And I mean, do you have many guys helping you other than Kyle on race day?
It was just me and Kyle and Cam Harris. He's my spotter and my social media guy. He used to be my neighbor, but he done moved away from me now. So, yep.
Is there a reason why you moved away from
Everything's too loud.
him? He likes to run his race cars out there when he's trying to sleep.
Yep.
In the middle of the street.
Yeah, we live in a residential area, and I'll be driving that around the neighborhood at night, so it does get a little loud.
Pre-tested, man.
Yep.
It's just part of the course.
So what's your goals for the rest of the season?
Like, I really want to win the championship, but the DNFs are holding me back, like I said. So I'm just getting wins. Just going to go out there and get wins. I'll win this weekend. I'll win Hampton Heat. We're racing Hampton Heat night, and that was always my dream. It's like, dude, I just want to race on Hampton Heat night. So we're going to go out there and win that one. It's 35 laps, so I got to figure out how to, like, save some tire for the end of the race, which is my nemesis. Like, I can't save tires for 15 laps, let alone 35 laps. So, but we're going to figure it out, man. Like, yeah, this past race, I saved all of the tire or whatever until about lap 20, and then I got on it and then ate them up or whatever. So if I can figure that out for
You
Hampton
put
Heat.
tire on or 2 tires on every week? Or?
We only get 1 tire a week, so it's a right front. I eat a right front every week. I mean, and it's like it's a throwaway. There's no reusing that thing or whatever. So, but this past race or whatever, I figured out how to like save it, and I might be able to move it to another corner of the car. So if I can do that for Hampton Heat or whatever, we'll be in good shape. So.
Forfeit a couple of races and just get the tire and put it on the left rear and
Yep.
save it.
Show
and-
up with 4 tires.
Yeah. Yeah. They got this stuff that you can put on them.
I heard about that. I heard about
Jack
that.
told me about
What do you know
it.
about that, Scott?
Jack was telling me.
Oh, Jack.
Little tire dope.
That's what you call it.
Yeah, it works sometimes. It works.
Oh, man.
So I mean, that's a good deal. Glad you're out here and doing well, and we're really excited that you're going to try to. We're going to see you get that win on.
Hampton Heat night.
It's coming.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
Okay, we'll be. If you get the win, we'll be down there with you when you celebrate.
Oh, bring it on. Let's go.
We'll be down there. We'll celebrate with you. And I
I'll
guess
make sure social media.
Yeah, I
you
guess
guys can.
Cam will come too. I don't
Oh,
know.
he'll be there. Yeah.
I mean, all I see is him running around here taking pictures. I don't see him doing a whole lot.
That's what he's supposed to be
He's
doing.
been
Jack.
spotting for me, and he spots from the infield. I'm gonna tell him, "Hey man, get in the tower so you can see everything." He's like, "Well, if you win, I don't have to run down from the tower to be down there in Victory Lane." I'm like,
That's
"Just
how
get
you
in the
said,
tower,
Smart,
dude.
though. That's pretty
Just
smart
get
deal.
up there, dude."
But he said if. Like, if.
He's been jinxing me, dude. He's been jinxing me. So
That's pretty smart though.
Well, that's confidence. See, he's staying in the infield because he thinks you're going to win.
All right, now wait a minute. We got a question here.
let's go.
Got a question. Andrew Lynn. Don't you know who that is?
Oh, I know. Oh, I know.
I might have heard of her.
Says, What happens if the baby comes on Hampton Heat?
Oh.
That don't sound too good.
So my wife is expecting a child, and it is due on July 25th, which is the Hampton Heat race.
I was hoping it was your wife. I
Yeah.
was-
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, me
Yeah,
and my
he did have to answer some questions if it was his girlfriend.
dude, hopefully it doesn't. But my wife's, I'm hoping it comes earlier than that. She's about to blow right now, dude. She's getting so big right now she can barely walk. So hopefully it comes before the 25th, but we'll see. And me and my wife have something worked out. Like my mom and all my in-laws are gonna be in town, so hopefully someone will be there to like supervise and. But we're gonna make it happen, dude.
Buddy, let me tell you something.
He's gonna find a way to be here.
Let me tell you something before you even think that way. Before you even start that way. If your wife goes into labor and you're not there, it may not be good for you. You can't use the racing as an excuse. So, I mean, you know.
Change the points.
I'll have someone bring my car
It's the
here,
first time
and then I'll be at the hospital, and then hopefully we can work out a window of time where I can just get out here. Worst case scenario, I qualify last, and I have to like work my way back from the end of. We're gonna be out here somehow. It means a lot to me. My wife understands, so.
I really don't know.
I know he's up here.
Might be
telling me
last
she's
year
big
here
as a house.
Yeah, or I might put Cam Harris in the car. We'll see what happens.
So, yeah, well, you better go get you a suit, be ready to go.
Yeah, I can't wait just to see what happens now.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. We'll come out here for the cars tour. I mean, for the Hampton Heat. We'll all be sitting around here.
Where's Jeremy?
Where's Jeremy?
Somebody's going to be at
Where's Jeremy?
the hospital.
They'll bring all the UCARs out.
If we see him, it's either good or bad.
They'll bring all
So what is it, buddy?
they'll bring all the UCARs out, and then we'll say, "Well, he ain't out there." She had
Wait,
that
wait a
baby.
minute, here it comes.
She had that baby. But anyway, Jeremy, we appreciate you being with us tonight.
Thanks for having me, man. I love the show. I watch it every Tuesday.
So we'll get you back on here again, and especially if you win and have a baby all
Yeah.
the same night. That's
Oh, yeah.
pretty big.
I'll bring the baby on here, brother.
Yeah, here you go.
Let's go.
We can do that. We can do it. Well, we appreciate it. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you again soon. We'll get you back on here.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
All right, man. Thank you. All right. Before we get to our waiting people, let's go ahead and get Gates on here. He needs to come over and introduce himself to Scott.
We've met a few times. But I'm terrible with names. I'll ask you next Saturday, like, what's your name again?
It happens.
So what's going on, man? How's your year going?
The season's going really good. Except for this last race, I kind of showed my butt on this last one. I've had some outside noise. I don't want to call it noise because
Just trying to get your boyfriend's attention?
Well, I mean, hey, my boyfriend finished second, so I mean,
Hey, come on, man.
yeah, no, yeah. I just showed up to the track, and I just kind of what I showed up with is what I left the last race with, and I knew that it ran decent, but I knew I didn't have much tire at the end of the race, so I was like, let me just see what I got, and I didn't have anything, and then so I just kind of got into it, like, hey, let me just play with throttle and just see where I could really like push it, and with having tire fall off, and it was just a really bad run. But other than that, I've had a good season. I finished in the top 5. Had a second place finish and a third place finish. And actually, because of this last race, I fell back to third. So Chase is now taking over the second place spot behind Chris McAvoy. So I'm falling to third. But yeah, no, it was also actually really good to see Donald Brown and the old Pink 05 do really well, because he's been fighting gremlins, and he's actually, I don't think he's finished a race until this last race. So and I think Atlee made a comment about him not scrubbing a fresh tire or something, and during flow, and I was just laughing. I was like, no, he's got all the tires he started with. So like, and he actually said that every tire that he had, it's pretty much been in every race. So
And now you got Big Motor Poust coming back out again. And
yeah, I know.
he went right down the pole. Got the pole.
Got a pole. I mean,
Do y'all keep up with this engine to make sure what's going on?
he keeps it pretty, even though he runs open trailer, he keeps it under wraps.
Keep that flow.
Yeah. Him and his family are always sitting right next to the truck, so nobody gets close to it.
Ah.
Yeah, good security.
You don't get to check that out too much. Huh?
No. But I mean, in all fairness, in the truck division, I mean, it seems pretty open. I mean, you kind of have a dominant half of the field, but I mean, it still mixes up pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had my opportunities to run up front and fight for the lead. So I mean, I'm there. So there's opportunity for myself. I mean, Don Brown went from 8th to finish second, and if it would have been the 40-lap race, I actually think he could have won it. So I mean, he had it there. So I mean, there's opportunity for a lot of us to mix it up and bring home trophies. So I mean, it's just we got to just be consistent and keep doing it. I mean, attrition may play a factor in the season, so we'll see.
Do you and Donovan share information?
No. We have completely different setups, and I mean, for the most part, the same individuals run with our stuff, but we have some different setups. So how we run is different. So.
Well, it seems to be, like we said with the UCARs, it seems like that group over there with the trucks is a pretty good group of guys. That,
Yeah, for the most
other
part.
than Rick Powell, they all seem to be pretty cool.
Yeah, that damn Rick Powell, man. No, everybody seems to be pretty friendly and is pretty respectable. I mean, even one of the races, I drove in pretty deep into one and locked into Bechtel pretty good. But I let out a throttle, let him gather it up, and then we took off. And I talked to him about it when we were at Tech, and he was like, "Dude, that was just great racing. Like it was just fun." He was like, "You let me gather it up," and we talked about it, and there was no hard feelings. And so like everybody's just like pretty cool with each other, and it just seems like everybody's level-headed and they understand that like, hey, we're all out here to compete and put on a show at the same time, but nothing's malicious. So I mean, it's just I have a really fun time. Being in the race with all those gents. It's a good time. Just can't wait till Wild Bill gets back because that man flies. And so when he gets here,
For an old dude, right?
Yeah, I mean 76 strong, baby. Like he flies.
Races.
Yeah,
it is cool.
So yeah, just when we get everybody out there, especially when we get a good mix up of 12, 13, even 15 trucks sometimes, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's a lot of fun to have those guys out there now.
Yeah.
Who all helps you with your car, with your truck?
Oh, the Doug Sample, Jamie Sample, Nick Sample, Nate Lundeen, and then Don Brown, of course, and then sometimes in the pits, some of the Don's Rugrats will come and help out, and which is great. My son Christian, he's been able to come to the races and help out. As well. He's 12, so he's just now getting into it, which is great. And then you got Nate's family, Stephanie, Caitlin, and her husband Chris, and then their baby Olsen or Olin. And but yeah, it's just great. And then you have Gene, of course, for carburetors. Gene's the man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yep.
Gene is the man.
I mean, it's good, solid racing in that division, and you gotta look at all the guys. I think any night somebody can come along and win the race.
Yeah, somebody's dominating,
Yeah, and it, like I mean, last 2 seasons, of course, Bechtel's been having his foot on the neck of the super truck division, but it's kind of I don't want to say he's loosening his grip. However, he's just off a lot right now, but I'm sure he's going to be back. And I mean, he had a hell of a start. I mean, started up front at second, and then just kind of got trained early on and sent back to the back with me. And so me and him kind of battled it out. And, almost got him at the end to try doing a sneak attack, but I was a little squirrely getting out of 2, so I didn't stay tight to him coming out of 2, so didn't have enough, but I was close.
Well, so who all sponsored? Who you got for sponsors?
Oh, and then sponsors. I got Houck and Lim returning sponsors. Then I have Portsmouth Army Navy with Mark and Katie Frank, and then I have DLG Electrical and CrossFit Fort Monroe. And Houck and Lim are actually my lawyers, and they're just fantastic people. And like normally you would think like lawyers are leeches and vampires, but these are actually really genuinely nice people and they care. They want to help out. So anyway, they can help you get to wherever you need to. Where
So will they
you're
help?
happy.
Will they help a guy like Jeremy that his wife keeps having a baby? You think he's gonna
Oh,
raise?
I have a great lawyer. We
Because
need
he's gonna
that.
be
Like,
divorced.
I personally, in the divorce realm, I've got 2 of those. So I would recommend you rethink the championship. Maybe. Sorry, man. I'm pro championship for you, but I'm also pro life for you as well. So you know. But I mean, also for you, if you're watching, there's also John Houck with Houck and Lim. He's a great criminal lawyer.
I was gonna say, how
Shannon
much
for
trouble are you
divorce, John
staying
for
in when you
criminal.
got a
There you
good
go.
friend that's an attorney?
So yeah,
Too funny.
Well, Gates, we appreciate you being with us, man.
absolutely. I enjoy the invite anytime. So.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna
Thanks,
get
thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, and by the way, it's Gates Kobuszewski.
Not Kobuszewski.
You'll have to
Yeah,
remind
not
me again,
Kobuszewski.
Gates.
Yeah.
And just to be, it is not how, it's Houck and Lim for my sponsors. So whoever's in the making the announcements, it's Houck. There's no K on it, but it's there. It's a Kobuszewski style name. It's all messed up.
We'll get Brian on that.
All right, thank you, Brian.
Yeah, we'll hit Brian up. I appreciate it, man, and I know who you are.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, so when you come in here, and I know Adam probably knew who you were.
Yeah,
too.
They pay me to know who they are. So
I better know who everybody is.
So that's pretty cool. Well, we appreciate it. Thank you for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
We're gonna bring on. Let's bring on that crew chief guy.
I think he's been here before.
You think so?
Yeah. What's up, Eddie?
Well, not much. How are you guys?
Good, man.
Yeah, you don't look like you're too busy right now, so everything must be going good.
I mean, I get a little time off too, don't I? Come on now.
Yeah, you look nice and relaxed. That's maybe what I should say. You look nice.
I am.
So that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. So tell us a little bit how things are going with you guys. I mean, things are looking good.
Truck series, new manufacturer. What's your scorecard so far?
Ooh, scorecard. I mean, I'm hard on myself, so I don't give it really good, but I think we're doing a good job just managing the races, getting the best finish we can. We still got a long way to go, but the races for the most part have been gone well, and we've maximized our day. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's it might be taking a 15th place truck and finishing 12th with it, but we're maximizing each race the best we can, and we're getting better. I mean, every day, so it's going okay. It's going good.
So I understand that the sim is up and going now, or we got some stuff working. Did I lose you?
Guess he's not sure.
Yeah, you lost me. I'm back now, though.
Okay.
I guess that was not a question you should have asked.
I guess not.
What'd you ask? Come on, let's do it. I'm here. I'm for it.
Oh, I'm not here. Now I understand the sim is up and working now, and that tool is available some now.
It is. We are developing it, so it is not completed, as it's always a process with that. I mean, and it's evolving every time we use it. It's even when it's done, you're not really ever done with it. You're always posting a race and validating the setups, but it is going. We're starting to use it. Is it done? Well, no, but is it going? Yes. So that's a good way to put it. Yeah, it is getting to a point where it's starting to add some value. How about that?
I forgot. Somebody told me to ask you a question this weekend, and it said that you belong. You belong in the truck series, or you belong?
I know who you talk to. I belong. I belong. I guess we do belong. How about that?
No, I mean, I'm glad y'all got that sim started and you're getting some work on it now, because Brendan needs that. He needs that really bad.
It's an extension of practice. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's evolving, and we're not to the point where we're using it every week yet, but we will get there. So
But
it's going to be good.
What can you use from that? I mean, like, do you use a complete setup in it and then come back and use that in the truck?
We will. We're not to that point yet. We're basically now to where we're starting to post and validate and get our tire models correct. You know, there's so much that goes in the background of the sim that you really don't think about. It's the setup being correct, the tire modeling, the aero map, the compliance map. That all has to make it feel real. So we're working on it.
And what's it like working with a guy like Brendan Queen? I mean, here's a guy a couple years ago couldn't even cut his own steak and everything, and now he's a big time truck driver. I mean,
I mean, it's good working with Brendan. He's excited. You know what I mean? This is a great opportunity for him, and he's making the most of it. So it's good working with Brendan.
okay.
Yeah, and I think you guys have maximized y'all's runs. I mean, I try to listen to the radio and you guys, unless it's like on an early Friday when I'm still working, I can't quite hear as much as I want to. But listen
Yeah.
to you guys, it's like, you guys have got a 15th place truck, but somehow y'all managed to get to 12th or 10th place truck. It's just like, strategy or whatever it is. Y'all seem to, which is the name of the game, right? Sometimes people just can't make the best of the opportunities, and you guys seem to somehow pull that together at the end.
Well, we work hard at that. You know what I mean? Like I say, you're not going to, you got to take little bites at a time, right? You're not going to eat it whole, right? So you got to get a little bit each time. And like I say, I feel like we do a good job at managing the races and getting what we can. Sometimes we're not happy with that result, but just maximizing it each time will pay off.
Yeah, and I also love how both you guys are realistic. I mean, both of you are not happy, and you can tell that on the radio. You're happy the way you're running. You want to be faster, right? Which is great.
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
You don't want to be satisfied for what you got, but you guys are also realistic of where you're at and make the best out of it. And I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you feel the same ways. You can see a chemistry between the two of you guys. Like y'all mesh very well. Like he's kind of, I don't gonna say he's high strung, but he can get a little bit excited, but he also knows where he stands. And then you have that sort of calm voice or the little smile you got. So that's about excited as Eddie gets.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's excited. This is all new, even though he ran a year of ARCA last year. All this is new in this series, So if I can keep it level headed, it will help out for sure,
Now, Eddie, with all you guys having the 5 trucks and everything there at KAULIG, how well do you work with the other? How much time do you spend working with the other crew chiefs and everything about these trucks, and how close are these trucks when you go to the track?
Yeah, that's what I was
we work very, very close. Like probably, you'd be surprised. You probably, if you came in and saw it, we work in the same office. We don't have separate,
okay.
separate teams. You know what I mean? We work together. So very, very close. Yeah.
So when y'all show up to racetrack, do all y'all have the same setup, or do y'all all migrate, or do y'all each have a different idea, and then y'all migrate and say, hey, this is working, that's not working, and migrate one
No,
direction?
we don't have different ideas. Have we all been identical this year? Well, no, we have branched out a little bit. So we're trying to learn and build our notebook as fast as we can, right? If we all go the same, guess what? They're all pretty much going to drive the same, right? So
Right.
there has been a few races when we've had to try a few different things for different reasons, just to learn quicker. So, but are they? They're all pulled down by the same group. They're all set up by the same group, So the setups are very, very close week to week. There's been a few weeks where, like I say, we've tried different things, but overall, they're set up very similar every week.
That's pretty wild. That, everything is pretty similar with you guys and all you guys working together. So, all right, I know I'm gonna ask this question, and I know you're not gonna answer it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and ask it anyway. So what's coming up for next year? We got a big deal coming up next year. Everybody going Dodge?
That's the first time I've been asked that, but I really don't know. So I don't want to. I can tell you straightforward with an honest I asked the answer. I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
That's above his pay grade.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't gonna get an answer. I thought I'd try.
Yeah, even if I knew one, I had one, I can't give you one. That is my honest answer. I don't know anything about it. I know we're working hard on the trucks, and I say that's our goal right now is just to get, I mean, if we could get into the chase, that would be fantastic. That's a really, really big goal to get into the top 10. But the rookie of the year is still out there, and we're working hard at that.
Yeah, I think you guys can do it. I mean, so at the end of the race, I mean, you made changes through the race, and you guys are obviously made, I feel like, big gains. Sometimes I think in the beginning of the race, you guys have got a, 20, maybe a 25th place truck. But I think halfway through the race, and that I feel like if we had another 100 laps, I think you'd be really close. Or do you taking those notes back and saying, okay, next time we come to a racetrack that's similar to this, we need to do this, this, and this for the next.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, honestly, I can't tell you how many times I've like you start practice and you're like, okay, next time I'm bringing this. Like I'm not really happy with what I got here, but we're gonna make the best of this. We do get some things to change, but like next time, like okay, next time we're gonna come with a different nose weight or different rear springs or whatever. So, and that's building your notebook, right? But the weekend that you have, like you have to make the best of what you have sometimes.
Yeah. Now, is this your first time in the truck series?
I have worked in the truck series before, but it's been a while.
Okay.
Well, you're doing a good job, and you do a wonderful job keeping up with Brendan. I mean,
It's not too hard.
Somebody has to keep it in line.
It's always entertaining, It's always entertaining, and I'll tell you, I love his honesty. I mean, just we talked about it a few minutes ago. His honest interview after the Cars Tour race this weekend, being a little aggravated, but saying, "Look, I've done the same thing." That's what I love about him is he's honest and he's real, and what you see is what you get.
For sure. And like I say, nobody wants to be happy running third, and like we want to be better too, right? So that's kind of the way it works out.
Yeah.
Well, Ed, we appreciate you being with us tonight, man. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
Yeah.
Hey, no problem. Anytime.
Yeah,
right, well,
we always appreciate, and I always appreciate you being nice to us at the racetrack, and I'm always picking your brain because I'm always intrigued on what you're doing and how you do things, and we always greatly appreciate it, bud.
all right, we'll see you. Well, hopefully we'll see you again real soon.
I think it's under that. See you, Eddie. Yeah.
I talked to Brendan on Friday, kind of during practice. He said Eddie was texting him updates, and they were talking about the car back and forth. And about with like an hour or so to go, he said, "Just put it on jack stands." So they were done. They were done with practice early.
Well, I mean, it's just. I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, if he hadn't gotten that fence, and I know he's terribly upset about it, and I would be too, because if he hadn't have done that, I think he'd obviously had a really, really good. I mean, he already had a shot, and I can't believe he got in the fence as bad as he did. The car was airborne, and then he was able to still have an opportunity to win the race.
Yeah, he made some made those lost spots.
I mean,
legitimately had a shot at it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get Jefferson HODGES on here. I know Nick is waiting. We're gonna get to you, Nick.
You're next, Nick. What's up, Jefferson? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about y'all?
Good, man. Good.
So give us some news about what's going on down at Penske.
Well, we loaded up and heading west for 2 weeks of road racing, and looking forward to running at the naval base there in San Diego, and we're actually not coming home, which is unusual for us. So we're just going straight from San Diego to Sonoma and do a little bit more road racing before we finally get to come home and head to Chicago.
So do you carry two cars out there with you for this, or what's the plan? I mean, I didn't think they carried two cars very much anymore.
Yeah, so logistically for this one, it's a little bit different. We don't typically carry a backup car for every team anymore, but for this event we are, just because we're not coming home. So we got 2 cars heading to San Diego per team. And then Wednesday night, we'll have what we refer to as our swap out truck, which will have the Sonoma primary cars and any, specific parts and pieces that we need for Sonoma and all the stuff that we have to replenish the trucks and trailers and pit boxes with. And we're actually going to go to the old Fontana Speedway, what's left of it, and get rid of the San Diego stuff and load the trailers up with the Sonoma stuff and then head the rest of the way to Sonoma. We'll do that Tuesday morning.
So is there one truck that brings everything else you need?
Yep. We have a couple of them actually, between, doing this for the NASCAR side and the IndyCar side. And then, the IMSA guys, they literally use theirs as a support truck, like at the Rolex or whenever they go to some of these endurance races and just have to take an exponential amount of extra parts with them. But yeah, so it's a 6-car hauler. So it'll take our 3 plus the Wood Brothers car and, whatever parts and pieces we need. And then it'll bring the 4 primary cars from San Diego, what's left of them, back home.
Okay. How many race teams do y'all have? Or how many, this car and that team, how many do y'all have altogether over there?
So full-time, we have the 3 Cup cars. We have 3 full-time Indy cars, 2 full-time IMSA prototypes, they're Porsches. And then we also have 2, we have an alliance with Able Motorsports and it's basically Indy's O'Reilly series. It's called the NXT series. We have, 2 younger kids that run in that. And it's very similar to the feeder series like the O'Reillys. The fundamental difference is they don't have any drivers that stay in that series. They run, 1 or 2 years, and it's a pathway to either the IndyCar series or Formula 2. They don't have any, of the Justin Allgaier, Brennan Jones types that just stay in that series forever. It's kind of 2 or 3 years and you're done.
Okay.
Well, Jefferson, they're at Penske. Is all these race teams at Penske in Charlotte? I mean, or in Mooresville, whatever you want to call it. Are they all there together?
They're all in Mooresville. The NXT cars are actually in Indianapolis just because that's where Abel's based out of, and they're just enough different, and that it's easier for us to support them from an engineering strategist, mechanic standpoint by having some employees up there. But all the rest of them are under the same roof right here in Mooresville. And before Amazon started building their mega warehouses, it was the largest single-story building east of the Mississippi. But wow. Amazon's since outdone it. But it's a massive facility.
How many square feet is it?
It's it's over 2 million.
Jesus,
it's massive.
Yeah,
it's at any given time there's 15 to a little over 20 tractor trailers parked in the shop, and you don't even know they're in there.
So do y'all have races with the tractor trailers in the building? I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's big.
So are you involved with all the different teams? Or are you just, I mean, I know you're not, but
no, I am. Yeah, I actually I'm one of, from the competition side, I'm one of the few people in the building that cross over from series to series. Obviously the marketing department and the basic business operations, whether it be HR or the building maintenance crew or whatever, they have a lot of crossover. But from a competition side, there's very few of us that cross from, because they're so different. They're so hard. It's almost impossible to be, a good mechanic on a cup car and even know what's, underneath the body of that hypercar. But yeah, I spot for Joseph at all the ovals, Newgarden on the IndyCar side. So I've had a pretty good run there. We've won 2 of the 3 ovals so far this year. And I really think we were in position to win the Indianapolis 500 before, he just ultimately just made a little bit of a mistake and it cost him dearly. And then I also attend the Rolex 24 every year and spot for one of our Porsches. And then, just kind of help kick that off. That's a huge undertaking. So any extra help they can get, because they need so many more people to run that race than what they need to run the rest of their season. It's a huge help for them for me to be there and, kind of just help, manage the people and then obviously spot for one of the cars.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, how many hats do you wear? And is there things that you can learn on the NASCAR or the IndyCar stuff that can translate? I mean, I'm sure like aero, but maybe maybe aero is one of those things you already kind of know what it does and what you can do with it. But is there some other things that you can cross over and learn from one another?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think the early success that we had with the next gen car on the Cup side was due to the fact that, as far as stock car racing, it was the first time we had ever raced a car with a floor pan in it. And we're really racing floor pans. Like the over body, it means nothing on this thing. Everything is about what's going underneath the car. And we were able to lean really heavily on our IndyCar guys and the Porsche guys to understand, even if it's just the basics, right? Like even if it's just that guy that's moving up from Legends cars to late models and he's got somebody that he can lean on to learn the basics, that learning curve is shortened. And I think it's, there's no denying our early success in those cars. And, obviously the rest of the world is caught up to us now and we're struggling like everybody else, but we had a massive advantage for a while. And, then there's the simple things like the Indy cars and the Porsches are both single lug wheels. So when it came to our athletic department and figuring out the choreography and how the equipment worked and, what, simple things like what you have to do to prep the wheels and the wheel nuts compared to the 5-lug stuff. Like we had a little bit of an advantage there for a while. And, like I said, it's obviously leveled out, but yeah, there's a lot of crossover there.
So this year, it seems like to me that the Penske Cup Series teams are having a little bit of a struggle. I think Blaney's doing really well.
Yeah.
But Logano's having a tough time. And I mean, what's actually going on there? I mean, is there?
If he knew, he'd fix it.
I know, but I'm saying,
Thank you.
no, what I mean by is there something completely different now than what it was before? Because they don't look the same to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's really the opposite. There's nothing different. And that's the problem, right? Like, Chevrolet got a new body this year. Toyota got their new body last year, and we're still racing the original body. They changed the name of it to the Dark Horse, but the body itself didn't change. So, Ford gets their new body in 2027. So I would expect, there'll be a learning curve, sure, but eventually the speed will be there because now we understand the rules and we understand what the underwing's doing and we understand the splitter and all these things that when the original bodies were, developed for these cars, none of the manufacturers, we all thought we knew, but none of us really knew. And now, the other two manufacturers are on their second attempt for a car that races an underbody, and Ford is still on their first car, the first generation of it for now. Gotcha. I think, the other big thing, and this is, no disrespect to the, the motor shop, but for cost cutting and saving things throughout the last couple of years, they've homologated a lot of the parts for all the engines, for all the engine suppliers. And, and then they turned around and added horsepower. Everything has to be used a certain amount of time, right? Like it has to be, you have to run the bottom end of the engine X amount of races, and you have to run the top X amount of races. And when you have cars that are, progressing deep into the playoffs, you're using that carries over year to year. Like you don't just have to do it all in one year. You can you can start the next season with used engines basically. And in our case, we're carrying multiple cars deep into the playoffs each year. And so as these parts got homologated and other people were able to, mileage out their motors last year, so they're starting this year with the most up-to-date spec. We're still in the process of getting rid of stuff that we ran last year because we were trying to update race to race last year. And, and if you look at it and you really think about it, like with the exception of Denny, who is, just Denny is, we've all known him since he was a kid, right? And Denny is the most dangerous and the best he's ever been in his entire life right now.
Yeah.
But
crazy.
if you take him out of the equation, Kyle Larson hasn't won this year. The 24 hasn't won this year. The 20 hasn't won this year. Like, these are all cars that went deep into the playoffs last year. So they're all basically in the same situation from an engine side. And then, then there's the things we can control. We've had our struggles on pit road. We've had some bad luck when we were running good. And, those are the things that you can control. And that's what we've got to focus on fixing.
I didn't realize that, like, how the motor program went. I mean, I knew you had to use so many things, so many races and so forth, but I didn't think about it in that aspect where it kind of hinders you a little bit here in the
right.
season.
And what I was talking about with the engines and the places that we can run the 750 package, there are teams and we have had some, just not, a full fleet of them yet, but there are teams out there that are running purpose-built 750 horsepower engines. And a lot of these 750 tracks, we've showed up with the 650 motor package with a different tapered spacer to make the power. And sure, it'll make the peak power, but the power curve might not be exactly where you want it. And, it's just a product of, running the best possible things we could last year as we were making our playoff run to, we just got to get rid of them, get them out of the system and move on.
Yeah, so you got to suffer a little bit now to be better later.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
Well, Jefferson, we appreciate you being with us. Thank you for every time I call, you're willing to come on the show and be with us, and that means a lot to us. And I can't wait to get back to Charlotte and come down there and maybe run into you and go through the shop one time, or what parts of the shop you can show us.
Yeah, the 1.2 million parking lot.
Yeah. No, I can. Yeah. Well, whenever you're in town, just let me know. I can take you through pretty much the whole thing. Sometimes the IMSA guys look at us a little funny when we walk in there, but we'll go in anyway and give it a run.
All right, man. We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Okay.
All right, man. I appreciate you guys as well.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, man.
See.
Now, we got somebody been waiting the whole show.
I know.
He's been waiting
He's
the whole
patient.
show. I mean, it's so bad. I saw him putting drops in his eyes a few minutes ago. So, so we need to go ahead and get him on here. Hey, Nick, how's it going, man?
Hey, it's going well. How are you?
We're doing good. Hey, look, you don't look like that picture I put on Facebook.
Yeah, that was funny.
I tried to go back and change it, and then it almost screwed up everything. So I said I'm gonna leave it and just say something about it when I get you on here.
So
No, that's okay.
Nick, so tell people that don't know who Nick Patterson is. Who are you, and what do you do, and how did you get into the sport?
I'm the jack man for Chris Busher at RFK Racing, number 17 Fastenal Dark Horse Ford, and I got into racing in late 2016, where it was just kind of one of those things where they had a few athletes in the sport at the time, but still it was majority just mechanics that were good at doing pit stops. And then it had started to transition to where they were looking for athletes, and Roush had called, not Roush himself, but the pit department had called the school that I was going to, and we're looking for a jackman to develop from knowing nothing all the way up to, I guess where we are now. And I was given the opportunity to come tour the facility, look at everything, see kind of how our practice would go, mess around with the jack, and then at the end of that visit, they asked if I'd be willing to come on my own time and just train 1 day a week. And I told them up front that I was headed to the military, but that I'd be willing to come and check it out. And I didn't want to turn anything down without knowing what it was. So I agreed to come. And for about 3 months, I came every Wednesday for about an hour and a half. And Cameron Cobb was my Jackman coach and the coach at Roush Fenway at the time. And at the end of that 3 months, I told them that I was headed to the military and it was time to sign papers and get going. And they asked if there was anything they could do to make me stay. And I thought I was being pretty slick when I told them that if they could pay me what I was going to make in the military with full benefits, that I'd stay. And so they slid that contract across a little quicker than I would have expected.
So it sounds like a guy named Ryan. He used to work at Richmond International, and he went to work for oh man, I forgot now, where you buy a bunch of sports clothes. But anyway, he goes there and he's working at Richmond. He's not making that much money, and they tell him they want him to come up and negotiate. They want to make an offer to him, and he's like, I put in my thing that I was making like $6,000 more than I really was, so I could get a little bit of a pay raise. And it was like, say it was $40,000. And she's like, you slide your paper over to me and I'll slide mine. She's like, I slide my paper over there, and she looks at it and it's like, oh, she slides her paper and she's like, well, we start at 76. He's like, I'll take it. It was almost twice the money.
Yeah.
What kind of sport were you playing before you went
Did you see how big this dude is?
Oh, I know that, but I want to hear it say it.
I played baseball. Well, I'll say that I'll use the term played loosely because I rode the pine most of my college career because I was just walk on and nobody knew who I was, and you're constantly competing against the guys that are getting recruited. And then I ended up getting released from the team, and then the football coach picked me up, and then I ended up actually playing more football in college, and I didn't ever play until I got to college. That was my first experience with football, but I picked it up pretty quickly, and I actually got to play all 4 special teams, and then got invited to a bowl game, and then played middle linebacker, long snapper at the bowl game. So I played more college football in that 1 year than I played baseball the prior 4 or 5.
Now, in that time, did you ever think, or even remotely, were you a NASCAR fan? Did you ever think that you would end up in this direction?
No, I the only knowledge of NASCAR that I had was my dad told me a story at one point, and he reminded me of it once I got into the sport. But he told me at some point in my childhood that growing up, that his dad and his mom would take them to the Daytona Beach, and they couldn't afford to go to the race, but they'd lay on the beach near the speedway and they'd have it on the radio and they'd listen to the race. And that was, his racing experience. And he was really into cars, and I didn't realize that until I got into the sport. And it's been really cool being able to share the journey and the experiences and getting him on the pit road and touring the shop and fan days and all that stuff, and just kind of getting him the gear. And, it's been really cool to share that with him.
So what was your first experience coming to the race and pitting the car? What was that like? What's going through your mind?
Well, my first experience like pitting a race was actually at Hickory Motor Speedway in the late model race. And I went with some guys that were very seasoned veterans in the 5-lug pitting era. Corey Ott was one of my changers, and he long career changing tires. And so I was fortunate to have him as a mentor. And so we go, and I'm thinking like we go from the Roush pit pad practice, and we're trying to make sure that everything's squared up, buttoned up. We're just peak performance. And then we go to the Hickory Motor Speedway, and I'm thinking, we're about to go lay it down on these dudes. Like, we're gonna go out here and it's gonna be a competition. And then you get out there, and then this is no shot at any of the guys out there, because I know they're doing it for the love of the game. But like, I was expecting like pro, in my mind, pro level pit stops, and what was going on there was like JV. Yeah, like that. We were competing, and we got done with our pit stop and sent them off, and we're like, whoa, and then we look around, and there's like some guy dragging a jack around the back of a car, and so wasn't much competition. And then when I got back to the shop on Monday, I went in and told my my pit coach and our general manager. I was like, "Hey, man, I really appreciate the opportunity and I appreciate you sending me to the race, but I don't think that's what I'm looking for." And so they were like, "Well, just hold on, just give it some time." And then they sent me to the snowball derby, and that was also not really what I was looking for. And then the following year, my first race I was fortunate enough to be able to pit a truck or an ARCA car, truck, an Xfinity, and a Cup car, and most of them were all more so back running, cars, except for the truck. The truck was Brett Moffitt in the 16 truck, and my very first pit stop in Daytona in a NASCAR sanctioned event, I was on the ground like 6 inches too early, and we had to go to the back of the field. So
Yeah, it'll take you one of them to mess up and not forget that one.
no, my pit coach Cameron Cobb at the time did a great job of printing that screenshot out and framing it for me so I could remember it.
Oh, that's hilarious. Now, going back to today, right? In pit stops, y'all are so choreographed. When you're running from the passenger side to the driver's side, I mean, obviously, I don't know how can you say it's like you're not just running as fast as you can, right? You're trying to do this in a choreographic
Maneuver.
yeah, lack of a better term.
Yeah, it's a choreographed dance of all the guys around you, kind of just ebbing and flowing to where you're somewhere that he was, but he's not anymore, and then you're swapping that space, and that's why I think you see the guys like the 20 car, the 9 car, the 5 car, the guys that have been together for a long time that are veteran guys, and they might have 1 or 2 younger guys, but the meat of the crew is like veteran guys that are experienced, that have done this. They know all the scenarios that could happen, will happen. They see it coming, and they can mitigate those before they happen. And so that's why you see those crews kind of towards the top of the charts week in and week out, because they're very good at mitigating those mistakes.
Now, if I remember correctly, I think we were talking about, and then different cars are sort of different heights. So when you jack them, certain cars you jack a different way. Now, I had no clue of that. I thought most of them, well, back in the day, everything had to be 4 inches, right? So kind of tell us about that. So what cars or whatever height, and what do you have to do different?
Yeah, so this weekend, it's a road course race that you're expecting a lot of rough terrain that they're going to be traversing on this airstrip / naval base. And so the car ride height is going to be significantly higher than normal. And so I think a lot of the cars you'll see like a 4-inch ride height kind of thing. And so that for us is very high, because you might have like 4 1/4, and so you're going to have to run some shim in your piston so that your jack plate is up a little bit, so that it narrows the gap between your plate and the jack post, and it makes the set, when you have to set the jack under the car, it makes that set feel normal, and it allows you to still maximize the stroke potential of the jack. So if you didn't use any shims, then to just set the jack, your handle would be 3/4 of the way down, and now you've got to bring it back up to just get the car up. So you'll see a lot of that. And then you go to Martinsville, and Martinsville, sometimes you can barely get the jack under the left side of the car because you're running such low air pressures and such low ride height.
So when you put the jack under, are you just pulling it to like set it, and then can you do that in one stroke, or do you got to do a stroke and a half or a stroke and a quarter?
So we call it pegging the car. So whenever the car comes in, and you get the jack under the car, your handle's tight, and so your first initial burst is to just slam the plate against the jack post, and that allows you to be able to go back on the handle. And when you drive the handle, the jack's not going to move. It's secure because of that set. And so the object is to set the jack as hard and fast as you can, and then get back on the handle. And that time between the set to the stroke, we measure that. Like all of the things that we get graded on in film review on Tuesdays are every piece of my job gets graded. If the car stop till the car is up is a separate time. From the car up till the time the right side drops is a separate time. From the time my handle is down and has stopped moving to the time that the changer gets the tire out is a separate time. So all these different things are just separate times, so that we can see where the gray area is, what we call it, but the dead time, where we could potentially try to find some speed in those areas where nothing's happening theoretically.
So is that something all of you guys work on together, or is that you and the Jack coach or whatever, or is it everybody together? And who does the grading? Are you grading yourself, or is a coach grading you?
No, so our coaches will do a film breakdown. So post race, and our assistant coach is really good at doing our film breakdown and getting it to us pretty quickly after the race. Usually by the time we get to the plane, we can look at the numbers and see our pit stop times and all the individual categories. But we'll look at those numbers, and then we've already watched it who knows how many times by the time we get to film on Tuesday, but we've already analyzed it pretty good. And then Tuesday is more of a group sit down, and we look at it and we kind of explain to each other or to the coaches, why certain things happened or didn't happen. And then he'll even take some of our practice stops from that week where we practice on the setup in practice that we're planning to race. And so we'll look back at, hey, here was your best 4-tire pit stop, no adjustment, and we'll overlay our best stop at the track, and we'll see where we lost time from practice to the race. And so that's very helpful a lot of times.
So what's a typical week for a pit crew guy? And what do you do Monday through Friday and then Saturday and Sunday? What's your typical week?
Monday is optional. Usually it's off. It's a rest day, and you can choose to go into the facility if you want to, but there's nothing planned from a structured standpoint. And then Tuesday, we always have film review first thing in the morning, and then we'll usually go out to practice. And then sometimes we'll practice Tuesday. Sometimes we'll wait and practice Wednesday, Thursday if we've had like a really late/early get back on Sunday. And because you're ideally wanting 48 hours from the time that you get back from the race to the time that you're doing something explosive and focused. And so that doesn't always happen, but we try to get close to that so that you're fully recovered when you go out to practice again for the next week. But Tuesday, you've got your workouts and your film, and then optional practice. And then Wednesday usually is a longer day because we'll have practice, workouts, and then we've got to hang around and wait to check the cars. Once the road guys get done setting the car up, then we go up there and we jack it and make sure that what the setup that they've plugged into the car is very pittable for us. And if there's some things that we would like to change, we try to request that. And if they say, well, we can't really do that, then it just gives us an idea of what we're going to be pitting on Sunday. And then we try to change the practice car to adapt to what the 3 cars that we have going to the track, whatever we can do that's closest to those 3. Then Thursday's practice is that race prep practice where the car is as close to what we think it will be. And then we go through some scenarios, nose ends, adjustments, having to stop short because there's a car in front, things like that. And then Friday we have off, Saturday we have off, and then Sunday we're traveling.
So do you fly in Sunday morning, or do y'all come in Saturday?
Yeah, Sunday morning we'll fly in, as long as it's not a West Coast. For West Coast races, we usually leave on Saturday so that we're not doing all that traveling there and back in the same day.
So then I guess you don't get the option if you wanted to pit somebody on Friday or Saturday, I'm assuming.
We wanted to, but there was a concern from our side of not from our side, but from our coaching side of not wanting us to get injured by drivers that are still learning how to enter pit road and get into their boxes. And Roush has invested a lot of money in having 3 good solid pit crews, and so they didn't want any of us getting injured doing that. So
well, I was wondering that when you said needed 48 hours, I'm like, I wonder if they make sure you got 48 hours before Sunday, and that kind of led me to that question.
No, it's a good question. There's a lot of teams that do that still, but Roush, we don't do that over there. We're solely focused on being as good as we can be in the single lug stuff.
So do you have a favorite moment or like an old shit moment?
Oh man. So I've been fortunate enough to be part of 2 Daytona 500 wins, and both of them were awesome. The first one was kind of wet blanketed because it was during COVID with Michael McDowell, and we didn't get the pomp and the experience that goes with that. But then I was fortunate enough to be with Ricky Stenhouse when he won his in 2023, and we got the full shebang there. So that was a really cool experience, and it was awesome seeing, like, it meant a lot to me and the guys that were around me on the pit crew, but it was really cool seeing like just how much it meant to a lot of those road guys that some of them didn't even have a win, and they'd been racing for 15 years, and this was their first actual cup win. And just to see that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So do you have an old shit moment?
So yeah, it was Miami, 2024. And I think it was maybe our third pit stop of the day. And actually it was Ricky Stenhouse that bumped us as we were coming down pit road. And we were already on pit road, and Chris had started to turn in to our pit stall. So he had already started to go left, and then he got bumped from behind by Ricky, and that spun him through our stall as we had all already jumped off the wall. And so I was able to kind of plant and then olay the car. And when we looked at the helmet cam, the top of the splitter went right over top of my shoe. And so I didn't get hit or anything, but it was close.
Wow. So are you that aware? I mean, obviously this year, I think we've had a couple instances, guys getting hit on pit road. Are you that aware of other cars besides your team, or do you try to be?
Oh yeah. And that's what comes with experience, is like, you've seen some things. It's like, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. So, a lot of times you're like, my job and what I was taught as a jackman is that I'm supposed to be similar to the quarterback. I'm supposed to know the play and know what everybody else should be doing during the play. And so I'm supposed to convey that to them, make sure everybody's on the same page. And a lot of times they do. So I'm just reiterating, and we're just all agreeing, but it's not like I have to babysit or anything, because I've got some really, really good guys around me. But by doing that, we're always aware of the car behind us, and we're watching and what they're doing. And if they're pitted behind us and they come down, and we know we're already aware that we're 15 cars back from the car that just pitted in the stall behind us, and they're only doing right tires. So right side tires only takes, 3.5 seconds. And it's about the time that we're getting ready to come around them into our stall that they're leaving. And you're just aware of what could happen, and you could get spun. And so there's been a couple of times this year where situations like that have happened, and I just won't jump because we're already getting nudged as we're coming in, and he won't spin, but you just don't know. And so I won't jump, and I'll just go around the back of the car to be safe if we're, running back in like the 20s or something like that. But if we're running up front in the top 10, then a lot of times you just kind of go and try to figure it out in the moment.
Wow.
Now, I got one other one. When I forget who it was, just a few weeks ago or so, when they came around to the left and they were changing tires, they didn't quite jack the car up far enough, and they couldn't get one. I can't remember if it was the front or the rear off.
Probably the rear.
Yeah. Do you not stroke the jack as high on the left side because it's closer to the ground, obviously, so you don't have to? Is that something you're physically doing and saying, hey, this should be far enough, or like a muscle memory thing?
There's a fine line with the left side on speed and getting it high enough, because there's a metric, and we call it a round to back plate. But from the time that the right side drops till the time that as a jackman, you are indexing the left rear tire, that is a time. And so that time is the combination of how fast you ran around the car, jack the left side up, and then we're able to grab the left rear tire and put it on. And that time essentially can predict the speed potential of a pit stop, because if you are at least finishing at the same time as the left front, then your speed potential is generally able to be maximized. So the two things that make a pit stop fast is if your rear changer and your carrier are able to be finished within 0.2 or so of the right front, and then if your jackman can get around the car, jack it up, and get the left rear on about the same time that the front tire is going on as well. And so those two things combined is what makes a fast pit stop. And to do that, sometimes guys will short stroke the left side because it takes less time to just peg the car and take the handle straight to the ground. And if you do that and the car height is close and the changer maybe just has a slight down pull instead of coming straight out, he just pulls down slightly, and now you've wedged the tire. And it's not that it wasn't high enough; it's that there's such a small margin for error when you don't get the car high enough that a lot of times I err on the side of being too high, because I might burn an extra 1/10.5 on the handle, but at least I'm not burning seconds, with the car being too low on the left side. But that is a way to get a little bit of speed, is if you can just short stroke the left side and get on the tire and get it in the wheel well.
So do you drop the car on the left side, or is the front changer drop the jack?
I do. And that was another strategy that came about that some guys still do, is if your jackman wasn't fast enough to jack the car up and get off the handle and index the left rear, then the front changer would reach over and be waiting to drop the jack once the left rear was tight. And I made it my mission that I was going to be fast enough to do that, because I did not want my front changer sending me on a vacation and then he's back at the track the next week.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know or realize that the rear changers are behind the 8-ball from the start, right? The front guy runs around. He's a little ahead of the game than the rear changer. So you want your fastest guy on the rear, right?
Yep. You want your fastest guy on the rear, and you want a carrier that's able to dump that tire off and get to the rear and hang that tire at the same time. We call it exchanging windows, when the tire comes out and the tire goes in, and the amount of time that elapses between the tire coming out and the other one going in is we call that like an index time or an exchange time. And so the goal is, if you're watching the changer's helmet cam, that when his tire comes out, you see the other one come in, and there's just almost no gap between the two.
Damn, I would love to see this film. I mean, I'm intrigued on how you guys are breaking this down, and when you guys are looking for time, are you guys looking for hundreds of seconds?
Yeah, we're at the point now where you're not going to find, whole tenths at a time. You might find pieces of a tenth here and there throughout the stop that amounts to a tenth or two, but you're not going to find a whole tenth in one place. And so that's why we do the film review, and we have all the numbers that are broken down to find out where the gray area is, because we are trying to find the hundredths. And then after you find it on a rep in a drill, now you need to find it in a live stop. And then once you've seen that, now you have to see it show up consistently. And so that's why there's such a long process. I would say to take someone that doesn't know anything about the single load pit stop and get them to where they can run like a high mid 8-second stop, you could probably get them to do that in like 6 to 8 months if you had like somebody that really knew what they were doing and was coaching them up. But to be able to get them to do that consistently with the car coming in on a variety of surfaces in a variety of scenarios, and you want to throw in adjustments, or you want to throw in like maybe your hose doesn't get pulled or thrown the way you wanted it to, and your ability to adapt to that, that's what separates the new guys from the veterans. Is like there's a big skill gap there, and that's why you see some of the veteran teams that are consistently up at the top.
Do y'all use AI to analyze your videos? Is that where y'all get your stuff so quickly? Or are they manually?
We don't. Like us personally, we don't. There is a program called Asphalt Analytics that Joe Gibbs Racing developed, and there are a lot of teams that subscribe to that service to break their film down, and they do use AI for the film breakdown. And I think Hendrick still breaks their own film down, and we break ours down. I believe Penske breaks their own down. But the majority of everyone else, I think, uses Asphalt Analytics. And really what the sport is missing from a pit crew side is a third party that receives all the footage from the race, and then there's a unbiased breakdown and ranking of the teams that understands, hey, if the car's left up and we're waiting on fuel, well, that stop shouldn't count against them because they had to leave the car up, so that they shouldn't be penalized for a 12-second stop where they were done with tires at an 8.5, but they left the car up waiting on fuel. So things like that can affect your rank, and obviously we get evaluated on our rank. And so there's different ways that you can try to look at everyone fairly, but it's really, really hard because we don't have like a system that NASCAR has that ranks us. It really only ranks the drivers, from a stat standpoint.
Oh, I was going to say, who does the ranking of the pit crew guys? Is there
there's a service or like a system called SMT, and that service is now like sends data that we get packaged a certain way through a system called Relay, and that gives us data the same way that we would see what the cars on the track that are practice session are running. They get all that feedback. We get the same thing where we see per the data that's coming to us what the other pit crews are running and where we're running and where everything's ranked at that time. But it's not super accurate right now. The data is not as accurate as it should be, but I don't know that it's necessarily like an emphasis to change that at this point in time, because really we're the only ones that care the most about that. Like everybody in TV just wants to see, did you gain or lose, you know? And it's not really an emphasis on ranking pit crews.
Do y'all study other teams to see if they're doing something different that you can learn from?
Yeah, we try to snag, video from the broadcast, and when they show other pit crews, we try to study and see what guys are doing, and maybe you look at all the stuff like, hey, how did their tire come out when they pulled it? Oh, their setup was different than ours because they didn't have to wait on the droop to come out, things like that.
Interesting.
Well, Nick, we appreciate your time tonight, man. We appreciate you really schooled us on that. I'm
gonna pick your brain next time I see you again. I'll be like, so what are you doing? How you doing this?
Yeah, I'm happy I'm a nerd for it, so you can ask me anything.
Well, we're gonna do that. We're gonna get in touch with you again and talk some more, because it's really interesting, the stuff that we've learned tonight. That's something the normal fans don't know what exactly happens, and I think that's really cool. Nick, appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot for your time. I'm sorry you had to wait so long, but I'm glad you hung around and stayed with us, because
I could geek out for another hour on this.
No, I appreciate you inviting me, and the wait's not a problem at all.
All right, man. Well, we'll talk to you again real soon, and we'll get you on here. And wait a minute, we got a question. Oh, never mind. That's not. It's somebody trying to be a part of it with me. Okay. Anyway, we'll talk to you again soon. And hey, look, you got Lindsay Bowman down there. It's a PR girl. You know Lindsay, right? Tell us.
Oh yeah.
Tell us.
I'll let her know.
All right, man.
See you, Nick. Thanks, buddy. We'll see you at Richmond.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I know it's way cool. We know that they overemphasize everything in the sport, but it's crazy that they're cutting down those little.
How much money goes into doing that? That's big time money.
It's not just show up and practice pit stops at the shop.
No. And these, what do they call them at Hendricks? Prima donnas.
Yeah.
These guys are making big money.
Oh, I bet.
Oh yeah.
Or a lot of them are. They're making.
Yeah. I've heard them say, well, the guys on the regular crew, we could have done it, but them prima donnas over there, they get to do what they want to do.
Which is, look, all these guys are super competitive. They complain about everything, right? And that's the reason they're so competitive, or that's byproduct of being so competitive. And you want them to be that competitive, But to me, it's just crazy how many little segments that they're breaking down in this pit stop. You got to be talking. We ain't talking about seconds and these little things. It's tenths of a seconds, and they're working in those little areas.
And even with the single load, the pit stop times got cut in half compared to
8 seconds, 8.5 seconds. It's crazy.
Hey Eddie, when you go to West Virginia, if you're going towards the Welch area, they got a place called the Chill and Grill. That's a good place to go eat too. Mm-hmm. But anyway. And the ice cream place there in downtown Welch is good too. So anyway, But anyway, all right, that's our show for tonight. Now next week we're gonna be on the road.
On the road,
tour, baby. On the road.
Shop tour.
We're going to a shop. We're going to be at Riley Music Racing. I guess that's what they call it, or Phil Warren Racing, or whatever they want to call it.
Riley Music Racing.
So we're gonna have Phil, Riley, Doug, and Anthony.
Yeah, so it's gonna be pretty cool. We've got Anthony's big time spotter, spotted at Indy.
Yep. And so Anyway, all right, we'll talk to you again next week, next Tuesday from Raleigh Music Racing. We'll talk to you then.